here on this very earth to love and to be loved.
Welcome back to another Camp Outlet Austin Q&A video. So the last one I did was 5 years ago, and that's when I was a camper. I was like 15, and now I'm 20, almost 21, and I'm a counselor, so I have a lot of new information for you. A lot of new stuff is happening, so tune in because I'm going to get your questions answered. First of all, I just want to say that thank you to coronavirus. Online camp is happening this summer, and it's been pretty good so far. It's been a good 3 weeks, I think. Wait, 4? 5 weeks already. The kids love it and it seems really fun. It's different. Obviously you can't party and sweat and run around with all your friends again, but it's a good time. So anyone from anywhere can join. It is at a discounted price, so just ask your parents and hopefully I'll see some of you there. You can find out more on campoutputaustin.org. We also have a free quest up. It's so cool. You can do that at campoutputaustin.org/quest, and anyone can do it. It's free. We also have Minecraft that is available for anyone too that wants to join. You can learn about that at campoutputaustin.org/Minecraft. And guys, the Minecraft is so cool. Like literally the coolest thing I've ever seen. I've never played Minecraft before, and I downloaded it for the first time, and it's so fun. Like we have all the cabins, you can build anything you want. We have a bunch of games on there, and it's just, I love it. You should check it out. Come join us at Camp Outlet Austin online this year. Thanks, coronavirus. Moving on. I've gotten a lot of questions because I posted a bunch of TikToks and everyone's like, where is it? How do I go? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna go answer these. It's real? What is it? Where is it? How do I go? Yes, Camp Outlet Austin is very real. It's a summer camp that has been around for so long. I don't even know how long. Longer than anything. So yes, Camp Outlet is a very, very real thing. It's a real summer camp that happens in Austin, Texas, McKinney Falls State Park. And it's a 5-day day camp. So you sign up for a session that works for you. It's every week of the summer, basically. And you go there from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and just be a demigod. There's just so much that goes on. I can't even describe it, but I'll get to that later. What is age range and am I too old to go? For our regular sessions, which is most of the summer, the age range is 9 to 13. And for the teen sessions, that has demigod prom and it's just a little more advanced, more physical, the age range is 13 to 17. How much is it? Camp is pretty pricey. It is usually around like $550, and you do have to find your own place to stay and your own transportation to get to camp. But online camp is at a discounted price. It's at around $450. How do I apply and what is registration like? Basically, registration starts around November and you just go online and you gotta be quick and you just get your parents to sign you up. You need your parents' information, emergency contact information, health information, and if you're a first timer, you fill out a quiz determining your godly parent. How do you get claimed and is there a claiming ceremony? So when you apply, you fill out a quiz. It's just a very silly quiz, and that will determine what your godly parent is. And there is a claiming ceremony at the very beginning of the summer, so before all the sessions start, and all the first timers get their name called and get the godly parent that they're sorted into. Why did I say sorted? Is this Harry Potter? They get claimed by their godly parent at the claiming ceremony. It's usually this huge event. Unfortunately, it was online this summer, but it's pretty fun. You don't need to go to the claiming ceremony at all. So if you don't, then the very first day you walk in, you find out who your godly parent is. It's the first thing that happens to you. You get in a line and you get all sorted in. You get your camp, whatever else you bought, and they yell out your godly parent and they're like Aphrodite, and then you go over and you meet Cabin. And it's super fun. I know a lot of people can be upset when they find out that they didn't get a godly parent that they want, but I think at the end of the week it all kind of sorts out. Everyone becomes friends and everyone just kind of like comes into their godly parent cabin pride. It just makes sense. Are there other camp outlets? Yes, there are other camp outlets. There's one in Brooklyn, which we have visited before, and I'm not sure where else, probably somewhere in New York too. I've never been, I don't know what it's like, but it seems fun. If you have gone, let me know. But I think the Austin branch is the biggest one. Can I go if I live out of the country, or should I go if I'm too scared to go? I 100% believe that you should try your hardest to go no matter what. I guarantee you it's the best week of your life, the best week of the summer. Yes, you can go, you can come, no matter how far you live, as long as you sort out where you're gonna stay and how you're gonna get there. I lived in the Philippines when I first went, so it's definitely possible, and there are people that come from all over the world, all over the country, so yes, you should come. And as far as being scared or having anxiety about it, I totally get you. It can be so overwhelming and so scary to just spend like a whole week with a bunch of people you don't know, but it is a very welcoming place and everyone is so friendly, and you do everything pretty much with your cabin, and you can also branch out and meet so many other people, because every day at rotation you meet different people with different cabins, and there's just so many ways to make friends there, and you make friends that will last you a lifetime. What do you do at camp? What's a typical day at camp like? I have plenty of vlogs showing what I did as a camper, what I do as a counselor, and you can check that out. But a typical day at camp is basically you meet up with your cabin, and then you have rotations with different cabins. So you would go to archery, you'd go to sword training, you'd go to Roman fight training, and then we have games, like a different game every day, like Monster Stomp or the Riddle game. We have snack breaks too, and a lunch break, and then we also have capture the flag, and then free time, and there's a quest every day and a huge quest at the end of the week. So yeah, there's plenty of breaks and there's plenty of things to do every day, and you're constantly doing something different, and it's really physical and hot. But it's so much fun. Is Camp Havlet Austin an overnight camp, and are there cabins? Unfortunately, we are not an overnight camp yet. We have a new camp land that we are trying to raise money for, to get cabins and to make it an overnight camp, to make it the coolest like Camp Havlet there ever has been, and we just need to raise money for it. So you should check out Between the Pages. It is the nonprofit organization we are under, and you can find out more about it and how to donate. How much of the Percy Jackson story and characters are there at camp? Do people act true to their cabin? Camp Havlet has its own storyline. It's very unique, but it also keeps many of the Percy Jackson heroes of Olympus, Magic Chase, whatever's going on, elements in it. You get mentions of the characters, you go on quests for some of the characters, but we do have our own storyline that is different every week, but it connects to somehow, and there's always something that's happening. There's no Pegasi or centaurs, but there are a bunch of monsters that are like only at Camp Havlet Austin, and there's a bunch of villains that just keep popping up, and it's its own thing. As far as people acting true to their cabin, 100% yes. I mean, you may not feel like you belong in your cabin, but at the end of the week, you see the Apollo kids making their own songs, you see the Demeter kids just chilling under a tree, you see the Aphrodite kids, like me, fixing their hair and their makeup all the time. It's very, I think it's very true to camp, and the cabins are very funny and unique. Pros and cons about camp. Pros: it is the best place you'll ever go to, where you'll meet the bestest people, have the most fun time of your life, and you basically are a demigod for that week, and what more can you ask for, honestly? Just everything about it is just so much fun and so worth it and so magical. Cons: it's very hot. You're in Texas, it's like over 100 degrees every day, it's super hot, you need to hydrate, or else you'll dehydrate. It is very hard to get to unless you live in Austin, so you have to figure out your own housing, your own transportation. It can be pricey, and I know a lot of people can't afford it, and that's so difficult. Hi y'all, this was just a little afterthought while I was editing. I just wanted to talk more about Between the Pages. It's a great nonprofit organization that Camp Havlet Austin is a part of. It helps avid, at-risk readers get more immersed into literature. They go around and do workshops and so much more than that. And there are kids that Between the Pages has provided scholarships for to be able to go to Camp Havlet, and I personally have had a camper who was a part of that program, and it was just so rewarding. Like, it was just so nice to see these kids who may not have been able to afford going to camp experience this, and I just wanted to make that clear that we were trying to make Camp Havlet the most welcoming place even to those who can't afford it, and just provide what we can, and I just think Between the Pages has been doing a really great job with involving these people and getting people to read and people to experience things that they may not have been able to before. So questions about me. I get asked, so what cabin are you in? I'm obviously an Aphrodite. Everything about me screams Aphrodite. I didn't even want to be an Aphrodite when I first went to camp until like I didn't go to claiming ceremony the first time I went. So when I went and they screamed Aphrodite, I was like, seriously? But I'm like, now you see me, like I'm the most Aphrodite person there is. I love dressing up, I love makeup, I love hair, beauty, fashion, all of that. I love love, and yeah, that's who I am. Do you stay in touch with your friends a lot? Yes, you meet the best people, you meet your friends that last you a lifetime there. When I was a camper, we had an Aphrodite group chat, and I eventually became a CIT, and I still keep in touch with all the CITs. And now I'm a counselor, I still keep in touch with all the counselors. Me and Ansley, I don't know if y'all know our story, but we were online friends at first, and then we convinced our moms to go to Camp Hot Blood because it was her last time that she could ever go because she was 17, and I've been going since I was 13. And we went, and it was the best thing ever, and now we work there together, and we see each other every summer. Where do you get all your shirts from? I have a lot of Camp Haplet shirts. I have like a Camp Haplet orange one, a white one, Team Leo shirt, Camp Jupiter shirt. There's a bunch of shirts, and that is the camp store, which is also available online now. The camp store is run by the Dinah Rose, which are counselors. Seamus, Ian, Ryan, Shy, and the CITs help out, and they run it, and there's just so much stuff at the camp store. There's Team Leo shirts, there's Don't Hate Me Cause I'm Beautiful shirt, Camp Jupiter shirt, a white Camp Haplet shirt, an orange Camp Haplet shirt. And there's just so many things at the camp store. You have to physically see it to understand. You can check out the camp store and get your own stuff too. This is literally my dream job. How do you become a counselor at Camp Haplet? How did you get hired? What's your story? Long ago, just kidding. I found out about Camp Haplet when I was like 11 or 12 or something, and I had been a huge fan since the movies came out, so I was 10, and I lived in the Philippines at the time. But I also, this is like my whole life story, but I have family in Houston. I've lived there before, so we still had our place. So I was like, oh my god, I have to go to Camp Haplet Austin. Like I just found it online or something, and I was like, this is totally possible. So I wrote a letter to my parents. I was like, I need to go to Camp Haplet, I'm a demigod, blah blah blah. And so when I was 13, I went for the very first time. I signed up for the regular sessions because I was too scared to go to a teen session, and it was so much fun, and I just kept going every summer up until I was old enough to not be a camper anymore, because I wanted that camper experience for as long as I could, because I just felt like I became a camper pretty late. I also do want to mention that I did end up moving to Houston, Texas at the start of high school. So I was in Houston going to camp, and that made it just so much easier. I go to college in Boston now, but my family still lives in Houston, so it is a little bit more difficult, but since I'm a counselor, we get to stay there overnight. It is kind of hard to work there and not have a place to stay. You have to end up staying in a hotel or Airbnb or stay with a friend, so I just wanted to mention that. And so I was still a camper when I was 17, and then I got hired as a CIT. So this is how you get hired as a CIT. Basically, we always watch out for campers that stand out during teen week. So people who bring others together, people who have that camp spirit, people who are just very helpful in general. And we do a whole recommendation process based on those campers that we see in teen week. And then you have a trial week as that CIT if you get hired, and then after that trial week, if you do well, then you become a CIT, and then when you turn 18, you can become a counselor. So that's how it works. There are also a lot of people that haven't been at camp before, and they've been hired, and that was just through other recommendations and stuff. I think there is an application place that you can see on the website, and it basically just says to email Isaiah, the camp director. It is very hard to get hired there, I will say. You can't just be like, hi. You really do have to make connections. It's not easy because there's just such a limited amount of people that we need every week, and it just differs every week, and just in general over the summer, like we don't need a million CITs, so it can be difficult. I will say that. But anyways, I got hired as a CIT when I was 17. I had the very first week of summer, I worked as my trial week. Then I was gone the rest of summer. Like I was traveling. It was after I graduated high school. I was traveling. I was doing a bunch of stuff. Then the very last week of camp, I was a counselor for the first time. I've been a counselor for like 2 summers. This is my 3rd summer now, and it's been the best. I would totally recommend being a camper for as long as you can, unless you feel like you are mature enough to be a CIT at 15. And yeah, that's pretty much my story. So I've been going to camp for 7 years now. That's crazy. So yeah, I think those are all the questions. I hope I answered them okay. And if you still have questions, go check out the website, go check out the social media, and I have plenty of vlogs, plenty of content on Camp Blood if you want to like see what it actually is like. So check those out. Stay safe, demigods.